Hey, my name is Ashley, and I got a question for you. Have you ever watched any of those classic TV sitcoms like from the 90s? Yes, I mean the 1990s, like the 1900s. And yes, I get that that feels like a million years ago to you, but trust me, if you haven't taken the time to watch any of the many solid 30-minute TV shows from that era, then you just don't know how classic and a little cheesy that they are. Shows like Full House, Family Matters, my personal fave, Boy Meets World, and the classic Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You can't miss TV, you guys. All right, now one thing all of these shows had in common, they were all centered around close friendships. Every single show had a set of best friends or a small group of close friends. And when I was a kid, that's what I wanted more than anything, real close friends. There's one more show I remember called Saved by the Bell. It was awesome. It was such a weird, strange, dynamic group of friends. Like every person had a different personality and they went through so many things in life together, the good, the bad, the ugly, you name it. And one thing those fictional friendships don't teach you, how to translate all that good friendship stuff into your own life. And if you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself wishing at times that someone out there, yes, even if it's some fictional TV character, would just straight up tell you how to navigate real life friendships, how to make friends, how to keep friends, how to be a friend, how to change friend groups, how to even let go of a friend. We're not just talking about those casual kinds of friendships. This isn't about the people that you sit next to in class but don't talk to on the weekend, or the kids on your team you only see on the field or in the group chat, or that friend from 3rd grade you've probably grown apart from as you've grown up. No, we're talking about what it means to be real friends, good friends, close friends. And believe it or not, that's a lot harder to figure out than one 30-minute TV sitcom can tell you. The truth is, close friendships can be difficult. Anytime you mix two unique and complicated human beings into a close relationship, it isn't always easy. Friendships take a lot of work for all kinds of reasons. Growing up, we weren't taught how to be friends. Our parents, guardians, teachers, and other adults in our lives taught us how to behave, be polite, be kind, say thank you, work hard, and mind our manners. They probably even encouraged us to make friends at school or be kind to the kids in the neighborhood or even invite people into our circle. But at the end of the day, they didn't explain what being a close friend to someone actually looked like. And with that, so many of our friendships are usually formed by default. At least while we're in school, our friendships just sort of happen. If someone in your class or on your team or in your neighborhood and we get along with them really well, then we become friends. Maybe it's as simple as we like to do the same things or we like the same shows. We don't put a lot of thought into that. And while this is totally normal and a natural way to make friends, it certainly doesn't mean they'll be close friends. Why? Because real, lasting, close friendship is hard. I mean, think about it. When it comes to friendship, things are always changing. You move to a new school, switch classes, or take up a new hobby, and the people in your life change. You're making new friends, which is cool, but it's tough to build and maintain close friendships with that much constant change. Or maybe you're not as sure where you stand with your friends. Sometimes it seems like you're left out of text threads, or you don't get a voice in making plans, or nobody's inviting you to anything. And if we're all being honest, I think we'd all admit that sometimes we're not even sure if we're actually in with our friends or not. What about expectations that are not met? Your friends don't always do the things that you want them to do. They don't connect with you enough during the week, or hang out enough on the weekends, or remember the important details of your life. You feel like these are kind of the things that close friends do, but you don't have any friends around you who are actually doing them. But when it comes to friendship, I think one of the challenges we face is where we put our focus. See, we all tend to focus on what we're not getting from the people in our lives. But here's the good news. What we're talking about today and this series as a whole has the potential to be a game changer when it comes to the way we approach all aspects of friendship. What's cool is that the Bible has a lot to say about our relationships with other people. The Bible is divided into two sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Now, the Old Testament was written before Jesus walked the earth, And while the New Testament consists of the books that account for the time Jesus walked and lived on earth and beyond, the first 4 books of the New Testament are called the Gospels, and they are accounts of Jesus' life when he lived among us. One of the Gospels was written by the disciple John, who was a very close friend to Jesus and who a lot of people think was just a teenager or in his early 20s when he followed Jesus. And at one point, John wrote about a very serious moment in Jesus' life. It took place right before Jesus would be arrested and sentenced to die on the cross. And while his disciples had no idea what was about to happen, Jesus knew what was approaching. And with that in mind, Jesus gathered his friends together for one last meal. Considering what was ahead for him, Jesus could have been looking around the table at his friends and thinking, what are these guys gonna do for me when all of this happens? Are they gonna prove that they're my close friends? But that's not what Jesus did. Instead of waiting to see how his friends would respond to him, Jesus decided to take the first step. Instead of being reactive, Jesus was proactive with his friends. So check it out. This is in John chapter 13, verses 4 through 5. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. Okay, so this may seem totally random, but back in the day, people walked, like a lot. Sometimes they even walked in their bare feet. Now, there weren't sidewalks and paved roads. No, we're talking about trudging barefoot in the dust, sand, dirt, sweat, and who knows what else. Simply put, nobody's feet were clean, not even a little bit. Back then, washing someone's feet was a job typically done by a servant for a house guest. In other words, someone in a lower position would wash the feet of someone in a higher position. So in this situation, it would have made sense for the disciples to wash Jesus' feet. But Jesus was the master of flipping people's expectations. He often did things that were countercultural or counterintuitive. And this was no different. Jesus demonstrated to his disciples what close friendship really looked like. He took the first step. He didn't wait on someone else to do what he wanted them to do. He served them. He did it for them to model the kind of friend that he wanted them to be to other people. In fact, in a different gospel, Luke records Jesus as saying something that's pretty good advice when it comes to friendship. Check this out. Luke chapter 6:31 says, "Do to others as you would like them to do to you." In other words, Jesus is saying that when it comes to relationships, we need to be proactive. We need to treat our friends the way we want them to treat us. This is so difficult to do, right? Usually we take the opposite approach. We react. We treat people the way they treat us. We respond to how they make us feel. If someone makes us angry because they aren't meeting our standard of friendship, we treat them with anger. If someone leaves us out of a group text, you better believe that we'll leave them out of the next group text. If someone repeats what we've shared with them privately, you know our next step is to start spreading their business around too. Oof. But that is not the way we want our friendships to work, is it? We want our friends to value us, include us, notice us, and be kind to us. We want to feel important to our close friends. And we don't want them to pay us back evenly for every mistake that we make. We want them to be patient with us, show us grace, and offer us forgiveness. Think about what Jesus said in the language of our world today. What if I text others as I would like to be texted? What if I invite others as I would like to be invited? What if I talk to or about others as I would like to be talked to or about? What if I forgive others as I would like to be forgiven? What if I listen to those as I would like for them to listen to me? What if I post about others on social media as I'd like to be posted about? Listen, Jesus could have made all his friendships about him. He was the leader after all. He had the highest status and position in the group. He could have used his power to leverage the relationships for himself alone. But instead, he served. He put his friends first. He was humble, supportive, encouraging, and forgiving. And that's what we can do for our friends too. Think of it this way. Being a friend means serving your friends. We want our friends to make the first move, treat us well, and put our needs first. But we can be the kind of friend that we want to have without waiting on anyone else to make the first move. We can follow Jesus' example in our friendships and serve others right now. Because being a friend means serving your friends. Okay, there are millions of ways that you and I can serve our friends and put them first without waiting for them to do it. But for the sake of today, let's talk about 3 simple ideas. First, think about your friends. Don't just think about your needs and what they're doing or not doing for you. Think about their situation, their feelings, their worries, or their insecurities. Try to be gracious and empathetic with them. They have moments of anxiety and fear just like you do. They get down just like you do. They have highs and lows just like you do. And close friends know that because they're thinking about each other first. In fact, let's just practice this now. I'm gonna show you some things on the screen, and this is a simple exercise on thinking about your friends. All you have to do is fill in the blank in your mind with a friend's name and something that's going on in their life. And if you can't think of friends or things that are going on with them, fill it in with other people you know. Listen to your friends. Ask questions about the things that are important to them. Try to really listen to the answers. Make an effort to keep up with important things that are happening in their lives. If you have a terrible memory like me, maybe use notes or a reminder app on your phone and write down important things, good and bad, that are happening in the lives of your close friends. And then follow up with them. Take an interest in the things that interest them to show them that you care. And lastly, pray for your friends. If your friend is going through something difficult, pray for them. If things are falling apart in their family, pray for them. If they have important things coming up, pray for them. Even short, quick, simple prayers are a big deal. Then tell them that you are praying for them if you want. If you do all of this stuff, it doesn't mean everything is gonna work out perfectly in your friendships all the time. This won't magically fix your friendships. It won't turn acquaintances into close friends overnight. And at the end of the day, a friendship is about 2 imperfect people existing in the same place. At any time, imperfect people are around each other, stuff can go wrong. But this will be so powerful for you moving forward. It's a great place to start when it comes to taking regular friends and making them close friends over time. For the rest of your life, you are gonna be in friendships and relationships. And learning how to serve, make the first move, and put others first will be an incredible foundation for you to be an incredible friend, both now and in the future. Being a friend means serving your friends. It means taking the lead to look out for them and their interests without waiting for someone to do something for you. Imagine if you become comfortable making the first move. Imagine if you planned the time to hang out instead of waiting for somebody else to plan it. You texted instead of waiting for someone else to text. Imagine if you didn't retaliate, but instead you forgave and showed grace. Imagine if you were the kind of close friend you wanted to have. And being this kind of friend will take work, but trust me, the work is worth it. And it all starts by you doing to others as you want them to do to you. It all starts with serving your friends.